Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison today. So we have Monarch 75 on 1478 rating, going up against Carly on 1023 rating. So Monarch deep into the top 100 at this point, and Carly just inside the top 200, but making their way up. Opening hands, Deep Prison, Compulse, Solemn, Bottomless, and Horn. Jesus, what a war crime of a hand. Riser, Heavy Storm, Braincon, Light and Darkness, Salvage, and Enemy Controller. We've seen Monarch on this before. It's a version of Tribute Frogs that also plays Salvage. It's really brutal in their hands. Let's see how it goes from this game though. Yeah, nothing to do with the first hand, so I was going to pass. Draw for turn is Fortress. Just going to set 5 and pass. I mean, how can you resist throwing a Heavy Storm at this, right? surely Heavy Storm, and then if they have Solemn, you've done half damage, you're okay. If they have Starlight Road, you have Braincon. Feels okay to Heavy Storm here. Yeah, they are going to throw it at them. They are going to Solemn. Pass. Draw for turn is Solidarity. Just going to pass. Draw for turn is Caius. Yeah. Monarch's deck is really cool, but we are seeing what happens when you draw too many of the tributes. Just going to set the Econ and pass now. Gear Frame to draw for turn. Going to add the Fortress. Going to pitch the Fortress for the Fortress. Solidarity. Make these nice and big. 26 and 33. Pretty huge. Pass. Draw for turn is the DD Crow. Yeah, they've got Braincon here, which kind of attempts to deal with the board, but they are going to Compulse. Add that Fortress back to hand now. Set the DD Crow, trying to survive. I'm just going to pass here. So pick up for turn. Oh, it's a Machina Force. Jesus. Okay, so Force is going to bring out Machina Fortress. Gear Frame going to get in, and that is just enough. Yeah, really unfortunate. Monarch really just didn't see any of the stuff they need to get their engine going. Okay, let's see how game 2 goes. So opening hands are Force, Deep Prison, Smashing, and Yellow Gadget. On this side they've got Gear Frame, Soul Exchange, Trag, Treeborn Substitute, and Gear Frame. Okay, this is far more productive than their last hand. So just going to set the Treeborn, pass. Draw for turn is another copy of Yellow Gadget. That's a bit unfortunate, but they're going to pick up a green, going to attack and pass. Draw for turn is Dupe. They're going to bring out that Treeborn now. They're going to summon out the Gear Frame for Fortress, and then a Gear Frame going to get in and pass. Draw for turn is the third Smashing Ground. Jesus. Okay. Green coming down now. Going to add red. Yep. Get into the Treeborn and Smashing Ground. The Gear Frame. This is nice. Going to set the Deep Prison, set the Smashing. Pass. Draw for turn is the MST. They're going to Treeborn now. Yep. Set the Dupe. Okay, they're not going for the Substitute stuff. I don't really know why, but okay. Draw for turn there, I think it was the Deep Prison. Going to red, grab yellow. Yeah. Green going to go into the Dupe Frog. They're not going to seek to... Yeah, they're now unable to attack the Treeborn. Maybe the goal should have been to attack the Treeborn first, just in case this was a dupe. But yeah, not an easy read. Draw for turn there is Cyber Dragon. They're going to summon out the Gear Frame add Fortress. Yeah. Gear Frame going to attempt to get into red, but it is going to get met with the Deep Prison. They're just going to set the MST now and pass. Draw for turn is their own Fortress. Yellow Gadget coming out now for the green. This is nice. Pitch green for the Fortress. Fortress can get over the Dupe. Dupe is going to be able to add Swap Frog though, which is a bit worrying. But yellow is going to get into the Treeborn, red, and green into the life. Sets the Deep Prison passes. This is Smashing, this is Deep Prison, and this is still the MST. Draw for turn there is Treeborn. They're going to MST, hit the Smashing. Cyber Dragon out now. This is a huge Cyber Dragon. This Chimera took is 5k. Holy. Yeah, unfortunately this is Deep Prison, so they are going to be able to do something about it. But that is huge. Okay, yeah, you are going to have to Deep Prison that. You don't have a choice. Your Smashing can't deal with it anyway because it doesn't have any defense points. Fortress coming out now in main 2. And they're going to pass. Yellow going to come out now. Yellow at green. How many gadgets does that mean they're playing? They've got 2 lots of green. Yellow's the weakest. So it means that they are probably playing the 9 gadgets now. So Force, going to pitch for Fortress, smashing ground, and then 12, 25 in. Yeah. And on that, they're going to drop the Trag now. Sets the Compulse and pass. Draw for turn is the Subsitoad. Okay, Monarch's got a few options here, right? So they've got, yeah, they've got Treeborn. They don't have the levels they need to get Trag working to take. They do have Soul Exchange sub, which is pretty good. Okay, Trag going on the offensive. That can get over the yellow, but they are instead going to send it back to hand. Substitute now for swap. Swap dump sub. Pitch Treeborn, summon swap. This is going to make a dupe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they've gone through a dupe already, right? Yeah, okay, so they might not have another one in rotation or in their deck. Okay. Green gonna grab red. Yeah. Okay, they've got the limiter. They're so close to having a game shot. This this soft dupe block is really just stopping it. Pass draw for turn is 1 for 1 now. Okay, substitute Treeborn for Unifrog. Yeah, Unifrog attempt to attack directly. That's going to get through. Then Unifrog is going to be able to destroy the limiter. That feels awful. Okay, but Scrap Recycler drawn for turn there. Going to dump the Fortress. They're going to send back 2 gadgets to draw 1 now. Draws into the gear frame. Just going to pass back. Draw for turn is Force. They're going to use that to summon out Fortress now. Yeah, get on the offense. Swap Frog can go over the Scrap Recycler. And Fortress can go over the green. Yeah, this is good. Swap Frog can bounce back now. Sets the Unifrog and passes. Draw for turn is the Machina Force. They're going to use gear frame to get out the other Fortress. Equip it to the yellow gadget. Okay. And pass. Draw for turn is the Gauze. Yeah, I mean, you're just one Cyber Dragon away from losing here, though. So, brings out the Treeborn. Yeah, Unifrog in. And Unifrog's going to destroy the gear frame. Yeah, that's so ruthless. Yeah, Fortress gets over the yellow now. And they're going to pass. Draw for turn is Torrential. Pitch the Force, summon the Fortress. Doesn't set the Torrential. Yeah, I mean, they've got so many cards in hand. I think you're just so done here, right? Sets the Raigeki Break now. Pass. Draw for turn is yellow. Pass. Draw for turn is Caius. They're going to Caius. Caius get rid of one of the Fortresses. They're going to see the hand, get rid of the Trag. Raigeki Break now. Hits the other one. And that's just enough for game. Yep. Nice. Okay. So Monarch grinding that one out there quite convincingly. Going to a game number 3 now. So opening hands are Substitute Jinzo. Very cool. Very cool. Braincon Salvage and Machina Force. I don't think we've seen Monarch bring Jinzo in before. So this is something I think pretty new that they're trying, but it looks good here. Deep Prism, Machina Fortress, Cyber Dragon Bribe, red and gear frame. So let's see how Carly decides to start. Starts with red and yellow. Set the Deep Prism, pass. Draw for turn is 1 for 1. They're going to Braincon take. Okay, again for 13. That's going to get them out with Deep Prism. Yeah, I really think if you were Braincon taking, maybe you just drop the Jinzo, right? There's no way you really wanted to set the sub. Braincon take, do the sub combo, or Braincon take, drop the Jinzo attack. Yeah, that doesn't feel good. Pass. Draw for turn is Starlight now, so they're going to gear frame out the Fortress. Yep, they can Fortress for Fortress. Attack in, yeah, playing around, dupes and subs there. And they're going to get in with the gear frame. Equip it, set to back row, pass. Draw for turn is Jinzo. Okay, they're going to 1 for 1 pitch. That's going to get met with Dark Bribe. Draws into the Cyber Dragon. That was so much worse. That was so much worse than pitch at a Subsitoad. Okay, so Cyber Dragon going to use the material on field to make a 2k Chimera Tech, tribute that for the Jinzo, and now they're getting in. Yeah, this is nice. 24 in, pass, draw for turn is a Horn. Far too late, but they do have a Cyber Dragon of their own. Second Cyber Dragon, yellow, yellow add green, and then use just those two for the 2k. Chimera attack of their own, 12 and then 2k. Then they're going to set the horn and pass, and this one is just over, right? So the normal summon can get horned. If they have heavy, it's getting roaded. Yeah. Yeah, and they've got a gadget in hand. Wow. Very nice. Very nice. Wow, Monarch is a hard player to beat as well. Yeah, what do I have to say about it? Firstly, yeah, Monarch is an incredible player on a really cool deck that they have kind of engineered and built, and they've been playing for a long time. So this is no small feat to take a deck like Gadgets and actually, you know, capitalize on some points of advantage and win here. So that's a big win for Carly, and they should feel really happy with that. Cool deck. Gadgets is always cool, always one of my favorites to see. You know, you got some big players in Edison like Ryan, like a couple of others that are on Gadgets pretty religiously that are, you know, showing how good the deck can be. And when you see it do what it's done here, yeah, it looks all right. Second game, yeah, not able to grind out a win there, even though they got Monarch down pretty low. But you know, really capitalised here on a really fortunate Cyber Dragon pickup, and some fortunate like pulls into Machina cards. But yeah, huge win for them. This deck from Monarch is very cool. The Jinzo is something new that I haven't seen before. The idea is basically that you've got like Substitute into swap, dump, you know, dump Treeborn, then you've got salvage and back. You know, you've got loads of different lines that just consistently keep your kind of like tribute frog engine going, and then it looks like they've got a side where they just kind of convert a lot of that stuff into like a Machina deck, Machina frogs, which is also really cool and something that we don't see a whole lot of. So I'll try and get Monarch on the channel again with this deck. I think it's really interesting and they're a hell of a player with it. Just a bit unfortunate there to throw a Jinzo straight into a Cyber Dragon and just not be able to recover from there. But yeah, really cool match. Good to see. What a win for Carly and what a win for Gadgets against a really strong player.